This is One Sentence News, a daily podcast featuring 3 news stories with a sentence-long summary and 1 sentence of context apiece. I'm Colin Wright. This is a sponsored message. I've been using Anchor as my podcast host for a while now, and it's been a pleasure to use. Anchor offers benefits that most other hosts do not. It's free to use, but it also has a collection of tools that allow you to create a podcast completely within the Anchor website or smartphone app. They distribute your show to Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and all the other distribution channels without any additional effort on your part, and you can make money from your podcast without any minimum audience size. So you can use it as a more traditional podcast host like I do, but it's also got everything you need to start a podcast from scratch. If you're keen to give it a shot, download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. It's Wednesday, September 28th, 2022. Let's talk about the news. From the Associated Press, Filipino rescuers drown in flooded village. Northern Philippine provinces were hit hard by Typhoon Noru on Monday, leaving at least 8 people dead, including 5 government rescuers who were trying to save drowning villagers, alongside nearly 80,000 people who were forced to flee their homes. This was the most powerful typhoon to hit the Philippines so far this year, and it has since disembarked into the South China Sea toward Vietnam. Noru became a super typhoon shortly before making landfall in the Philippines, and is just one major storm wreaking havoc on populated areas around the world right now, including Hurricane Ian, which passed through Cuba yesterday, and which is expected to make landfall in Florida sometime today. From Reuters, gas leaks in Russian pipelines to Europe trigger sabotage probe. European officials are investigating what appears to be a severe gas pipeline leak under the Baltic Sea, which has created a bubbling, swirling surface disturbance more than 1 kilometer, which is about 0.6 miles wide, and which some officials have said may be the result of sabotage. 2 leaks have since been detected in the Nord Stream 1 pipeline, and 1 leak in the non-operational Nord Stream 2 pipeline. Sweden's National Seismic Network has said it detected 2 explosions near leaks on the Nord Stream 1 and 2 pipelines. Russian officials have said that these leaks threaten European energy security, and that 3 leaks means it probably wasn't accidental, and folks who are concerned about the warming effects of methane, which is what natural gas is mostly made of, have warned that leaks of this size could significantly amplify greenhouse gas-related impacts if not handled quickly. And from Axios, China reins in its Belt and Road program $1 trillion later. The Chinese government has spent about $1 trillion on a sprawling portfolio of infrastructural investments across Asia, Africa, and Latin America as part of a larger effort to gain influence in these regions. But the program doesn't seem to have generated the returns they were hoping for, and the so-called Belt and Road program is now reportedly being overhauled. Part of the issue is the overall slowing economy and problems China is facing at home, including a devalued currency and deflating real estate bubble. But the bets they made have also been problematic, as many of the countries that took on Chinese debt to build out roads and ports and such have defaulted on these loans. Those defaults have led to the confiscation of these infrastructural projects by the Chinese, leading to claims of debt trap diplomacy against the Chinese government, and some have contributed to larger debt crises in debtor countries like Zambia and Sri Lanka, which has in turn disincentivized other countries from working with China on these sorts of projects. If you're finding some value in One Sentence News, consider leaving a quick review wherever you get your podcasts and/or sharing the show with a friend. You can find out more about this show or subscribe to the email version at onesentencenews.com. And you can support this and other related projects, like the Let's Know Things and Brain Lenses podcasts, at understandery.com.